What you see before you is a 62-inch Casablanca Astro, manufactured back in 2006, finished in a snow white finish paired with snow white blades. Blade pitch is 14 degrees. Here's the Casablanca logo. You can see it there. Downrod ball socket mount, 3/4 inch downrod, which I'm not exactly sure if that canopy and mounting bracket are original. I would guess that these typically use the Permalock mounting system. I would assume that that's probably left over from the fan that this fan replaced back in its original install. They just decided to not take down the original mounting bracket, just reuse the canopy, and there you go. But I could be wrong. That could be very well the original canopy. But I don't think so. So the Astro, definitely a very interesting fan. Definitely one of Casablanca's more wilder models of the 2000s. These were available in two different finishes. Of course, Snow White here and Brushed Nickel. The Brushed Nickel model had maple fan blades onto it. You can also get a model-specific light kit on these, which look like 3 arms coming off of this cone right here. And the heads of them look like street lamp heads. Pretty interesting. That was the only light kit available for these. Kind of be nice if it did have the light, but it is what it is. Of course, this fan also has a more ornate cousin called the Marrakesh. Like I said, very, very wild design. Not really my cup of tea. It is pretty cool looking, but it's not really my cup of tea, so it likely won't stick around for very long. This fan originally was powered off of the VersaTouch remote control system, which had 3 fan speeds, reversible function, and of course light kit function if it had the light on it. However, the original W42 VersaTouch remote was missing. So unfortunately, what I had to do here was bypass that system. I wired in a capacitor for the motor and a reversing switch to have it reversible. That's all within that bottom cone there on the motor housing. And now you can run it off any kind of wall control you want to, or any kind of universal remote that you wanted to. For purpose of the testing, we're using a 3-speed rotary wall control. Not much else to say about this fan. Let's go ahead and jump in. Motor inside is a 188 by 20. Picked this fan up from Habitat this past week. And funny enough, this fan was originally seen for sale on Marketplace. I didn't bother really picking it up. It wasn't too far away, but it's not something that I would possibly go actively out of my way, such as a Marketplace listing, to go get. Even though it was a decent price, I actually paid more for this fan from Habitat versus than I got it off Marketplace, but it vanished off Marketplace, so I figured that was that. Nope, fast forward 2 months, went to Habitat, and look what was staring me in the face, this same fan. It was installed in a great room on a 30-inch downrod. That's the same downrod. I just cut it down to 6 inches, of course, to install it down here. So anyway, the low speed, pretty nice on this control. Not pimp aesthetic, but pretty decent as it is. Take it to medium. It's got a slight motor hum, which is to be expected from a spinner motor fan. The blades are a little bit warped from the motor for the fan resting on the blades, so it does contribute to a wobble, especially on high. But other than that, a very smooth running fan. And we'll take it to high. High speed, we're cruising at around 170 RPM. With the 14-degree blade pitch, it moves an okay amount of air. It's nothing too over powerful. Like I said, this is one of Casablanca's mainly looks style fan, not really performance oriented. Like I said, it moves air, but with these skinny blades, it doesn't move a whole lot of air for its size. Of course, the performance might be a little bit better if it was installed more of an open area. For such a large fan like this, I'm sure it kind of suffocates right here, especially with that support member right there next to it, but it is what it is. But a pretty cool fan, runs pretty good. Like I said, it just looks as if nothing really I would have in the house anyway. And that's all I got. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video of this 62-inch Snow White Casablanca Astro from 2006. Stay cool. Take care. Peace.